Quý vị khách quý tham dự hội thảo giao thương trực tuyến tiềm năng xuất khẩu đồ gỗ vào thị trường Anh với tiêu đề thúc đẩy cơ hội thương mại Việt Nam trong lĩnh vực đồ gỗ ngày hôm nay. Tôi là Đặng Minh Hằng, Phó Giám đốc Trung tâm xúc tiến đầu tư phát triển công thương, Cục xúc tiến thương mại và rất vinh dự được làm điều phối của sự kiện ngày hôm nay. Kính thưa quý vị đại biểu, kể từ khi thiết lập quan hệ đối tác chiến lược năm 2010 cho đến nay, hợp tác
since 2010, the UK-Vietnam cooperation, both bilateral and multilateral, has got a lot of progress and expected to reach a new standard. And trade and investment partnership is also behind in our cooperation. And within the cooperation program chaired by MOIT and also in the week, Vietnam Furniture Matching Week, MOIT work with HAWA and the Teaming City. We have support from the Vietnam Trade Agency in the UK. Would like to organize the event today, promoting the trade partnership between UK and Vietnam in wood furniture, organized online. And it is the opportunity for us to review and look back on the
đồ gỗ. Phiên 2, phiên giao thương trực tuyến giữa nhà mua hàng Anh và nhà sản xuất Việt Nam. Tham dự chương trình ngày hôm nay, tôi xin trân trọng
the discussion between the manufacturers and distributors, and would like to introduce to you from Vietnam, Mr. Vũ Bá Phú, the Director General of Trade of Viettrade. Mr. Nguyễn Cảnh Cường, the Councillor of Trade of Vietnam in UK, and Ms. Dương Thị Minh Tuệ from HAWA Standing Committee and Director of Minh Dương, Mr. Kevin Phạm, the Secretary General of the Association in the UK, and we have Erica Cousin from BSI, British Standard Institute, Mr. Paul Farley from Furniture News, and Mr. Joe Bonser from Car Bonser. And once again, on behalf of the organizers, I would like to thank you all and the representatives from the businesses and the media for coming to the event today. And to start off, I'd like to invite you to the opening remark by Mr. Phú, the Director General of Mr. Nguyễn Cảnh Cường, Councillor, Embassy of Vietnam in the UK. Ms. Dương Thị Minh Tuệ, Standing Committee Member of HAWA, Sales Director of Minh Dương Woods Joint, Mr. Kevin Phạm, the Secretary General of Vietnam Business Association in UK, Mr. Paul Farley, Editor-in-Chief of Furniture News, Ms. Erica Cousin, Global Marketing Director of BSI, Ms. Joe Bonser, representative of Korea, Given Limited, ladies and gentlemen, UK, Vietnam, VK-FTA was signed end of 2020 and effective from the 1st of May 2021, opening up opportunities for Vietnam and the UK to develop bilaterally and in trade. And in 2021, facing the complicated development for export supply chain and other economic activities, the bilateral turnover between Vietnam and the UK still grew well, reaching 6.61 billion USD, up by 17.24%, in which Vietnam exported to the UK increased by 16.4% and UK's export to Vietnam increased by 24%. Most of Vietnam's export to the UK have grown. The leading products are iron and steel, rubber, agriculture products, pattern products, bamboo, ceramics, means of transport, machinery, and equipment. Regarding investment, in 2021, there were 48 FDI projects from UK to Vietnam, with newly registered capital reaching more than 53 USD million, increase of 157% compared to 2020. And currently, UK is in the group of top 12 countries, the largest FDI in Vietnam. For Vietnam's wooden furniture manufacturing industry, despite being affected by the pandemic and the supply chain disruption, transportation cost, input materials, but export turnover of furniture of Vietnam still had good growth. In 2021, export of wood and wood products continued to rank 6th in the export turnover of Vietnam and up by 19.7% compared to 2020. And this is achievable. This is achieved thanks to the effort by enterprises in improving production and business capacity, improving the design quality of products together with the support from government ministries and the trade promotion association agencies in promoting activities of expanding domestic and foreign markets. Ladies and gentlemen, while we still have prolonged COVID-19 pandemic, as the state regulator in the field of trade promotion, investment, and industrial development in Vietnam, Viettrade has made efforts to support new investment and trade promotion solutions based on IT to support Vietnamese businesses to maintain regular connections and partners, businesses, and potential investors to explore business investment cooperation opportunities after the pandemic is controlled. And the online seminar today, potential of exporting wood and furniture to UK market today, is under the National Program on Trade Promotion in 2022. It is a very practical activity to support businesses of Vietnam and the UK to be connected online so that we can proceed to direct transaction in the future. I hope that from this event, the parties will open an exchange and will explore each other's needs and capabilities and come to an agreement on development cooperation opportunities between the two sides to contribute to strengthening bilateral relationship between Vietnam and the UK. And in line with that spirit, I'd like to declare the opening of the conference and wish you good health and wealth and success. Thank you very much for listening to my speech. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, to promote the role of supporting businesses in trade promotion, HAWA has got a lot of activities to support the business community. For example, organizing VFA Expo and the online exhibition platform and working with Viettrade to organize events to share information for markets to be connected with the buyers. And at the webinar today, we'd like to introduce Ms. Dương Thị Minh Tuệ, the member of the Standing Committee of HAWA, to have some updates about the market of wood in Vietnam and the UK. Thank you.
Kính thưa ông Vũ Bá Phú, Cục trưởng Cục Xúc tiến Thương mại, ông Nguyễn Cảnh Cường là Tham tán Thương mại Việt Nam tại Vương quốc Anh, cùng toàn thể quý vị doanh nghiệp và các đối tác đang tham dự buổi hội thảo hôm nay. Thưa quý vị, là năm 2021 là một năm rất là nhiều biến động cho cái ngành gỗ cũng như là toàn xã hội. Đã có những thời điểm mà các doanh nghiệp ngành gỗ gặp rất là nhiều khó khăn, đặc biệt là trong những cái tháng mà cuối của quý 3, khi mà đại dịch Covid đã cản trở và thậm chí là đình trệ cái hoạt động sản xuất, cung ứng cũng như là vận hành của nhiều nhà máy, đặc biệt là những cái nhà máy nằm ở những tỉnh trọng điểm của ngành gỗ, chẳng hạn như là Long An, Bình Dương, Đồng Nai. Thì tuy nhiên là chúng ta cũng đã chứng kiến được cái sự phục hồi rất là tốt và phục hồi ngoạn mục và nỗ lực rất là to lớn của toàn ngành để vượt qua những cái khó khăn đó. Bằng chứng là chúng ta có thể thấy được là cái kim ngạch xuất khẩu gỗ và sản phẩm gỗ của Việt Nam trong năm 2021 vẫn đạt được là 14,8 tỷ đô, tức là tăng 19,7% so với năm 2020. Và trong đó riêng cái kim ngạch xuất khẩu của cái nhóm sản phẩm gỗ là đạt đến 11 tỷ đô. Thì kết quả này nó đã tiếp tục duy trì được cái chuỗi tốc độ tăng trưởng trên 15% của ngành gỗ trong liên tiếp 5 năm và giúp cho gỗ và sản phẩm gỗ luôn nằm trong top 6 những cái mặt hàng và những cái nhóm mặt hàng mà có kim ngạch xuất khẩu cao nhất của Việt Nam. Hiện nay thì gỗ và sản phẩm gỗ của Việt Nam hiện đang xuất khẩu lên đến 160 quốc gia và vùng lãnh thổ trên thế giới. Thì trong đó có top 5 thị trường lớn nhất của ngành trong năm vừa qua. Thứ nhất là Hoa Kỳ, thứ hai là Nhật Bản, thứ ba là Hàn Quốc, thứ tư là Vương quốc Anh và cuối cùng là Canada. Thì tổng giá trị xuất khẩu gỗ sang 5 thị trường này chiếm trên 85% tổng kim ngạch xuất khẩu đầu gỗ của Việt Nam vào tất cả các thị trường trên thế giới. Xin nói riêng một chút về hoạt động xuất khẩu gỗ và sản phẩm gỗ sang Vương quốc Anh. Thì Anh luôn luôn là một cái thị trường chủ lực và ghi tên trong top 5 các thị trường xuất khẩu đồ gỗ lớn nhất của ngành gỗ Việt Nam. Với cái kim ngạch xuất khẩu khoảng chừng 200 triệu đô mỗi năm. Thì năm 2021 vừa qua đã ghi nhận tăng trưởng là 7,5% so với năm 2020. Mà trong đó cái nhóm ngành hàng nội thất văn phòng là cái nhóm đột phá nhất với cái mức tăng lên đến 34%. Thì quý vị có thể thấy qua những cái thông số này chúng ta có thể thấy được là thị trường Anh Quốc là một cái thị trường hết sức quan trọng, và cũng như cái cơ hội và sự đón nhận của thị trường này đối với ngành gỗ và sản phẩm gỗ của Việt Nam nó vẫn còn rất lớn. Chính vì thế trong cái tuần lễ giao thương Việt Nam Furniture Matching Week 2022 năm nay thì chúng tôi muốn tổ chức buổi hội thảo tiềm năng xuất khẩu đồ gỗ vào thị trường Anh, phối hợp với Viettrade và Thương vụ Việt Nam tại Anh để cho đây là một cái hoạt động thiết thực mang đến những cái thông tin quan trọng và cần thiết cho doanh nghiệp để hỗ trợ thúc đẩy cái cơ hội thương mại giữa Việt Nam và Vương quốc Anh trong lĩnh vực đồ gỗ. Thì thương mại Viettrade, thương mại Việt Nam, Thương vụ Việt Nam tại Anh Quốc đã hỗ trợ cho chúng tôi thực hiện buổi hội thảo này. Tôi cũng xin cảm ơn các diễn giả đến từ Viện Tiêu chuẩn Anh Quốc, Hiệp hội Doanh nghiệp Việt Nam tại Anh, UK Furniture Show, Clarion Event và tạp chí Furniture News. Và xin đặc biệt là cảm ơn tất cả các quý doanh nghiệp đã tham dự buổi hội thảo ngày hôm nay. Thì chúc tất cả chúng ta sẽ có một buổi hội thảo rất là thú vị. Xin cảm ơn.
Thôi chết rồi. Chết rồi. Chị không bật lên, em không nhắc chị. Chết rồi. Mình cứ nghĩ là mình bật lên rồi, cuối cùng hóa là chưa bật.
Để có thể hiểu rõ hơn về các quy định và chứng chỉ theo yêu cầu của Vương
In
quốc
order to have a better understanding of BSI standards, I would like to introduce Ms. Erica Coulson from BSI, British Standard Institute, to have a sharing on this topic. Thank you.
Xin chào. Hello, good morning and good afternoon to all of you. I'm very happy and honored to be speaking with you today on such an important topic, the trade between us. So looking at the UK furniture trade, just to let you know who we are the British Standards Institution. Our profits are reinvested into the business and we work on working independently to provide better standards across global markets. We first came up with our first standard in 1901, many years ago, and we still continue to develop now, not just in tram tracks and furniture and wood, but also in cybersecurity and all sorts of new innovations. Moving forward, we have a lot of small global clients, small businesses growing and becoming the future leaders, and we also work with the leaders of today. So looking at furniture standards, one thing that is very clear is that we have a lot of standards. So today I can't go into too many individual ones, but just so that you know, standards development portals are out there and existing standards portals are out there. So the help is available and I would be happy to direct anyone to these portals. And I've included a few links at the end of the presentation. A key thing for UK furniture market is the safety of the goods on the market. When we look at them, the upholstery must pass the cigarette test, fillings must be fire retardant, and covers must pass what is called the match test. There are details in the legislation and details in specific standards. Manufacturers might also want to consider the general product safety regulations and things like persistent organic pollutants regulations. Any products currently that you have in the UK or European market with the CE mark will need UKCA by the 1st of January 2023. The tests are very similar, if not completely identical. So if you're currently UKCA, you should be able, if you're currently CE, you should be able to attain UKCA fairly easily. In terms of what the UK market and consumers are looking for, current trends include safety, quality, and ultimately sustainability of materials as well. So you'll be in a very good position if your products are meeting these high standards. Just to talk about a specific mark, so in the UK, we have what is called the BSI Kite mark. Industry and business tend to recognize this mark across several domains for quality and safety, and the recognition is good with consumers and public as well. Current sofa places like DFS and mattress places like Benson's for Beds have been using this. So if you're talking to these kind of companies to distribute your products to these retailers, then you may see requests for this mark. And again, it's a testing scheme. It's conforming to certain standards and getting awarded that mark. So that might be a good ticket to trade. And again, quality benefits to the UK consumers. Some useful sources of information today would be the Advertising Standards Agency, us as the Standards Institution, BSI, the Department for International Trade, which was formerly UKTI, who you may have worked with before, and the Furniture Industry Research Association provides great expert testing. I want to thank you for the time today and look forward to the next speaker on this topic.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your speech, Ms. Erica Coulson.
Thank you.
Thưa quý vị, ngoài các thị trường trọng điểm như Mỹ,
Ladies and gentlemen, in addition to the key markets like US, Japan, China, and the EU, UK, after being split from the EU, with a number of FTAs, the tariffs on furniture and wood products could be reducing by about 5%, and that's why Vietnam's products could be better competitive in UK market. And I'd like to invite Mr. Karin Phạm, the General Secretary of the Vietnam Business Association in the UK, to make the presentation on the future market for the furniture product in the UK.
Xin cảm ơn MC. Kính thưa ông.
Thank you, the MC, Mr. Vũ Bá Phú, and Mr. Nguyễn Cảnh Cường, and ladies and gentlemen who are joining this event from HAWA Viettrade.
Thương mại của Sứ quán Việt Nam tại Vương quốc Anh.
And the Trade Office of the Vietnam Embassy in the UK. My name is Phạm Trung Kiên, and my English name is Kevin Phạm. Currently, I am running a business in the wood industry in the UK. I am also the General Secretary of the Vietnam Business Association in the UK. And given a short period of time, my presentation includes three parts. First of all, the overview of the UK market. Second, the elements that Vietnamese businesses should be noted when they export their products to the UK market. And third, the potential and opportunities from the practical experiences that I've got in the years working in the UK. First of all, the UK market overview. As you have watched some of the slides from the Mr. presentation and the other presentation, let me provide you some more information. In the Europe, UK is the second largest market after Germany in terms of furniture products. And for this market, the projection of the growth for the period 2021-2026 is about 3.2%. And with a market that the annual consumption value is maintained at 15 billion pounds from 2005 up to now. And as you can see that Vietnam's exposure to this market is only 200 million, while the market size of this is 15 billion pounds. And today, exporters to this market, and Vietnam holds less than 10% of the market share with the value of about 200 million pounds. Let me share with you some of the interesting information to the Vietnamese exporters. Here, I mean those of the medium-sized exporters. I do not mention about those of the larger size like Mr. company. From this slide, you can see that the wholesale value of the exterior and interior products in 2021. The revenue is from 100 to 249,000 pounds. There are about 565 companies in this range. While for those whose revenue is more than 5 million pounds, there are only 5 companies like this. And for those Vietnamese producers who have exported their products a little bit to this market, there are about 500 or 565 companies of this, and the revenue is about 200. And for those in the range of 250,000 to 500,000 pounds, this is nearly 2,000. The number is nearly 2,000. And in the UK market, there is a high number of retailers. And for those retailers that their revenue is more than 50 million pounds a year, it is about 20 of this. Like you can see, EFS is among those of the retailers that the revenue on annual basis is more than 50 million pounds. However, there are only about 20 of these retailers like this, and they set very high standards and requirements. Here, for those retailers that the revenue is over 1 million to nearly 2 million, we can see that there's a quite a large number of retailers in this range, about 630. And for those who are in the range of 500,000 to 1 million pounds, it is 1,300 retailers. And 50,000 pounds. There are about 3,170 retailers, and this is our target retailers, the retailers that we want to work with. And for the retailers in the other ranges, we would face stronger competitions from Turkish and Chinese exporters. In this slide, you can see group 1 that includes those very big guys like DFS or IKEA. IKEA has a lot of warehouses here, and for 90% of these, they purchase the goods directly from the plants. However, group two is those that the costs involved in purchasing the goods from Vietnam could be high in relation to their total cost. So that's why they have to purchase the goods from distributors, or they could have the cross purchase. And group three are those who purchase about 70% of the goods from distributors. And for this, they are in the revenue range below the £5 million per year. And for these smaller retailers, they cannot afford the cost of purchasing the goods directly from Vietnam. And let's move to the part two of my presentation. When Vietnamese exporters export their products to the UK market, there are three elements that they should be noted. First of all, customers in the UK. There are a lot of platforms like Wayfair and retail system that we can access and sell our products. Second, we need to have experts who understand the culture and knowledge, culture and practices and customs in the local market. For example, when we export to to Japan or South Korea, it should be very different when we export to UK and Europe. Countries are different in terms of on which direction the right or the left hand side that they drive the cars. And when you want to export to the UK market, you need to have experts who understand local culture and customs. And you can get proper advice from these experts. Another interesting thing about the UK market is prior to the pandemic, and then after the pandemic, they organized a lot of design week and the trade fairs. It is on weekly basis that they have this kind of trade fair, and if you can participate in these events and you can approach the designs of the designers of the trendy products, and that we can be the first one who launch these new products to the market, there could be greater chance for your success. The current situation today is that Vietnamese exporters often be considered as latecomers in the market, and in order to expand the customer base, you can do it via the trade fairs and exhibition. In the UK, there are a lot of trade fair and exhibitions, and that you can display your goods here at the big trade fairs with the support from the Vietnam Embassy in the UK. Another thing that you should be noted when you export your products to the UK market, perhaps for the larger size exporters, you got the experiences already. Here I would like to talk with those exporters who export to the UK for the first time or who haven't got a lot of experience in the UK market. Here, in the UK market, like for the case of my company, I've worked with the accredited institutions in the UK. And before you sign the contract, you understand right away the financial worthiness of your potential customers. And the financial institutions would provide advice to us of whether the financial capacity of your potential customer would be A1, A plus or A minus. And of course, you have to pay the charge to them. Of course, it is not so high. It is not 0.01 or not 0.1%. And when you use these financial institutions, you can get payment aside instead of having to wait 30 to 90 days as it may be asked by your buyers. And if you do not use the financial institutions, you have to explore about the capacity of the buyers before you sign the contract. And for the first time that you export to the market here, you need to sell in small lots, and you can have you can use the payment terms that you can get payment installment payment, and you can buy the insurance for your goods for making sure that you can get payment from buyers. In terms of after sales services in UK and Europe, the average time provided for the customers to return the goods is about 6 months, and for IKEA here, it is about 360 days. For example, if my family purchased a goods, and when we installed the items, we have some parts of the goods broken, and we can take the picture and send it to the suppliers, and they can provide us the replacement right away. And so this is the point that you need to pay attention to when you export to this market, that you need to make sure that after sales service should be provided. And you should put yourself in the shoes of the wholesaler and retailers here. They have the good knowledge about the market, and if you support them, they could buy more from you. And part 3 of my presentation, I'd like to talk with you about the opportunities and potentials for cooperation. As we already know, the UK has been split from Europe, and this is a very good opportunity for other countries around the world. They want to enter into trading partnership agreement with countries around the world, and Vietnam should take this advantage. And another point is that the UK has escaped from COVID-19, and personally, and from the perspective of my company as well, we feel very well and clear about the pandemic's impacts. We actually knocked at the door of the wholesalers in the market here in order to talk with them, that in order to talk with them for the potential to export our products to the UK market. But most of them say that they have a very good distribution network, and that they don't need to buy from us. But after the pandemic, for 70% of our of the companies that we talked before, and they were not interested in us, and now they say that because of the pandemic and because of the war between China and the USA, that's why we'd like to search for supplies from Vietnam. And perhaps this is a turning point that we need to take advantage of the opportunities. And for me, for my company, and for those who want to export to the UK and Europe market, please grasp the chance. And that in addition to Chinese suppliers, the buyers around the world now want to have the second option, so that in case they cannot buy it from China, they could have the other option to turn to. And Vietnam, together with Malaysia and Indonesia and other ASEAN countries, could be the countries that they can turn to. And here, I would like to say that the KNP Global Limited is fully owned by Vietnamese. And currently that we are working with a trading platform called Retail System. This platform is now present in the UK, Europe, the US, and South Africa. In each of the markets, we manage about 1,000 distributors of exterior and interior products. And the revenue of the distributors under our management in the UK market is about 1.2 billion pounds, which is less than 10% of the total market value. Which is 15 billion pounds. As we said before, we plan to open more warehouses in Europe, in Canada, and USA. We have continued to work with the trade office in the UK and other countries to organize trade fairs for furniture products. And for all of these trade fairs, we use one common name called Vietnam booth. And we hope that we can work together with other Vietnamese producers to develop Vietnam's brand. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Kevin Pham. Ladies and gentlemen, UK Furniture Show always gain attention from international guests and especially the buyers from different companies in the world. We'd like to introduce to you Mr. Joe Bonser from Clarion Event Ltd to share with you some information. Thank you.
Good afternoon all. I'm delighted to join this seminar taking place during Vietnam Furniture Week. My name is Zoe Bonser and I'm the Portfolio Director for Clarion Retail. We're the company behind the January Furniture Show. Clarion has been delivering events since 1947 and is now one of the most influential event companies operating in the UK and internationally. During the next 10 minutes, I'd like to give you a brief overview of the January Furniture Show. First of all, I'd like to share my screen if that's okay, so I can share a quick video about the show. So if you hold on one moment, I should be able to share that with you.
It's the biggest show for us.
In Twitter, your clip is going on well, but there's almost no sound. I think that you forgot to click on sharing sound. You can see the image, but not the sound.
Great feature. Visitor and new ideas, new concepts that really push the industry forward. Really important to connect ourselves as suppliers to the industry. It's a standout show. We love it.
January Furniture Show for us is just the best opportunity to
see all the right people, all the best customers come to the show. It is the show of the year.
Thank you. So that was the January Furniture Show. So who are we? The January Furniture Show is the UK's most important and comprehensive event in the industry, with a history of over 30 years. We understand how competitive the UK furniture market has become, and we exist to make companies in the mid-high market succeed in meeting UK buyers. If a company is serious about doing business in the UK, then they would showcase their lines at the show. In fact, over 500 million orders are placed at or as a result of the January Furniture Show annually. So why January? From our knowledge and experience in the market, we know that UK buyers are always looking for new collections and place the majority of their orders for the year ahead in January. This is the reason why we have strategically positioned the show at the beginning of the year. The structure of the show. The show takes place across 4 halls and over 4 days. Each hall is themed in order to help the buyers meet manufacturers in line with their price range and products. We do and have worked in the past with agents and organised pavilions, which are either placed in one hall. If the majority of the manufacturers are on the same product line or price point, they can then take a presence across multiple areas across the entire show. We pride ourselves on working with our exhibitors on what is best for them and most importantly for their buyers. After all, if the buyers are happy and place orders, our exhibitors will be equally satisfied. The majority of our exhibitors are long-standing customers. 90% of our exhibitors rebook each year. We like to think that they come back because they love our work and support, but the reality is their continuous presence is a testament to how successful the show is for them year after year. The show is divided into the following halls. Hall 1, which is our premium design hall. This really is the best of British and international furniture design for the retail market. This is very much a curated hall, as our panel of experts would decide upon checking specific criteria if a company can fit in that hall by their product line and their product range. In this hall, you will find businesses like Tetrad, White Meadow, Baker Furniture, Sofa Brands International, Westbridge, Duresta, etc. Hall 2 is dedicated to interior accessories. In this hall, you'll find all those home accessories complementing the bigger furniture pieces. So you will have wall art, frames, mirrors, coffee tables, etc. And we'll find businesses like Gallery Direct, Bluebone, Final Touches, Art Marketing. Hall 4 is focused on living and dining. Cabinets, dining tables and chairs, living room furniture, bedroom furniture and storage can be found in this hall. Businesses exhibiting here are renowned names, German names, for example, like Weimann, Rauch and Nolte, as well as other UK and international names like Kettle Interiors, Forte, Jaipur and Yushun. Last but not least, Hall 5 is focused on upholstery and beds. Pretty straightforward, but you'll find a wide range of companies offering sofa ranges, recliners and beds. You'll find companies like Buoyant, Manoir, Celebrity Motion, Silent Night, Sweet Dreams and Sealing. So having talked about who your fellow exhibitors could potentially be, I'd like to talk about the most important group, your customers. The January Furniture Show is a very well-established event and a fixed date in the diary for all the major UK buyers. The last pre-pandemic show attracted over 21,000 visitors across 4 days. And from experience, we know that buyers are coming back year after year because this is the only place where they can see and touch new ranges, new collections, and speak with potential new suppliers all under one roof. The majority of the buyers coming to the event are independent retailers, which is not surprising as the independent retailers make up most of the UK furniture retail industry. We have buyers from mid and high-end retailers like Barker Stonehouse, Stokers, Sterling Furniture and Clark's Interiors, and volume buyers from brands such as All Direct Furniture, Big Brums, Furniture for Less, The Warehouse. The show also attracts department stores, the likes of John Lewis, Atkinson, Heels, internet retailers, which have done incredibly well during the pandemic. For example, Amazon, Wayfair, Very, Argos, Made.com. Multi-store retailers such as DFS, Dunelm, Furniture Village, and wholesalers, C Supply, CDC Furnishings, as well as importers. They're also joined by a growing audience of high-spending contracts interior specifiers from the private and public sectors, sourcing for projects across residential, commercial, hospitality, hotels, and healthcare. I'd like to talk a bit about our commitment to excellence in marketing. We work with clients to ensure the event delivers the returns expected, providing a valuable pre-event platform through which uploading marketing materials, product showcase, catalogues, and sending invites to buyers. This means that your business will be supported pre, during, and post-event, making sure that the solution we create delivers on your objectives. In addition, our VIP program is continuously invested in, and the VIP buyers joining us at our events are handpicked by our committee of furniture experts. The JFS team works very closely with all our exhibitors who have the opportunity to also nominate VIP buyers. So what's next? So the January Furniture Show will be taking place in Birmingham, starting next weekend from the 24th to the 27th of April, and will return to its original dateline from the 22nd to the 25th of January in 2023. We are so excited to be welcoming buyers back to Birmingham after a pause of almost 27 months. As mentioned earlier, the UK buyers are always looking for new collections, suppliers, and inspiration, and we would love to work with you and help you showcase your new collections, suppliers, and inspiration at the most important event in the UK furniture industry. I look forward to welcoming you all to the show soon. Thank you very much.
Sorry, Miss Joe Bonser. Tiếp theo chương trình, tôi xin trân trọng giới
Next,
thiệu.
I would like to invite Mr. Paul Farley, Editor-in-Chief of the Furniture News, to share the information with the businesses from the two countries and also the suggestions and recommendations to Vietnamese exporters.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name's Paul Farley. I'm the Editor-in-Chief of Furniture News magazine. I'm just going to get my slides up for a moment. Thank you for having me here today. I've got a few minutes now. I'm going to share some tips and some observations from what I see in terms of the opportunities in the UK market and how Vietnamese businesses can best approach those. As I said, I work on Furniture News magazine. We're the leading B2B magazine for this sector in the UK. Magazines like ours play a really... It is a very, very disparate and split apart industry. We call it a cottage industry. It's a bit like Zoe said just now, lots of it is based on independent retailers. So there are lots and lots of different businesses to reach. Depending on who you ask, the UK consumer sector in furniture and furnishings is worth anything from 15 to 20 billion pounds. It's a huge, huge market. So there's definitely massive, massive potential there. But a lot's changed during the pandemic, and it's really important to understand where things are going. Obviously, with people locked down and stuck at home a lot, there's been massive appetite for home furnishings. And as Zoe mentioned just now, huge online growth as well, as people get more confident in buying larger, big ticket items from the internet. But at the same time, there's been huge global price rises, big import challenges in broken supply chains, And currently, we're facing big inflationary rises here and limited consumer confidence. But those pressures are also applying to the other import markets as well as our domestic industry. The British Furniture Makers Association recently said that lots of their members making furniture in the UK are facing material price rises up to 100% at the moment. So lots of the challenges are universal. They will be affecting everyone at the moment. So it's a lucrative market with a huge amount of potential, but it does need to be approached right. And I think those attending this webinar have started in the right place, but here's a few of my tips for how best to move forward. Step one, do your research. It sounds obvious, but it takes a very effective and sustained approach to crack into the market. Read reports, read as much press as you can get hold of, talk to people, visit shows if possible, engage with import specialists working out of Vietnam. There are some very good people working over there. Or even better, establish a person on the ground here in the UK. As I said, it is a very complex market, so local knowledge really is priceless. And it's much easier to coordinate these working relationships in this virtual age. Next is best practice. Quality control is extremely important, especially given the rate of the freight costs at the moment. People don't want to be buying things and then finding they're not up to spec when they receive them. You can design and prototype products virtually these days from anywhere in the world, but you do need some face-to-face inspection at some point. It's definitely necessary. Sustainable and ethical accreditation is becoming much more important. Not just the big businesses over here, but even those independent companies are now looking for their suppliers to have some sort of FSC, PEFC, or chain of custody certification. It's very important. Brexit may have happened, but much of our standards remain in line with those of the EU. So standards are still high. Again, someone on the ground over here will help make the paperwork easier when you're dealing with imports. But the main challenge, of course, is balancing quality with good prices. Moving on to consumer tastes, the important thing to consider being, will your product work in the UK? Again, more research is called for. You need to be looking at the materials, the colours, the shapes, the forms, and the trends of furniture which is selling here. In cabinet furniture, look at what the big retailers are doing, plus the sector experts. There's still huge demand for country oak style furniture and Scandinavian looks and painted, but there's also growing demand for rustic. From what I've seen in the past, anything in cabinet pretty much can be achieved in Vietnam. So it just needs to be got right at that stage. Work closely with retailers. If you've got a big enough account with retailers, you may be working on white label lines and developing something exclusively for them, but always try to keep the end consumer in mind. So again, coming back to that point of research, try to soak up as much information you can about what the styles are that are featuring in our magazines, in our shops, on our websites. Moving on to marketing. Establishing clients in the UK means communicating your strengths as well as possible. Quality photography, good messages and translation, and a focus on strong key messages goes a long, long way. As we mentioned, e-commerce is getting more and more important. Many more people are engaging with furniture online before they perhaps buy it in stores. So extra helpful are very, very good online assets, including those images I spoke about, but also e-commerce capabilities, or perhaps even starting to embrace new technologies, which in the future will be making the difference in how people buy furniture. Perhaps it's augmented reality or 360-degree spins and visions, it's worth looking into these things. Marketing-wise, I would recommend attending a trade show. Reaching out from VIFA over there is a very, very good start, because I know that lots of British people do attend the show. But again, echoing what Zoe said, January Furniture Show is the place to be for maximum visibility over here. There's also trade marketing opportunities through the likes of magazines and websites like Furniture News. So to conclude, there is huge potential here in the UK. It's a very, very lucrative market. I know that Vietnam is currently the second largest importer of cabinet furniture into the UK, but there is further growth potential, to be sure. The existing cabinet leaders, much of their product is coming from Vietnam, and they show that it can be done very, very well indeed. But do be aware of the fresh pricing pressures, the new administration challenges that come from Brexit, and the definite need right now to guarantee timely delivery of very high quality supply. In short, be capable, make sure that your production is up to speed and you're knowledgeable about everything you're doing. Be honest, be straightforward with anyone you're working with, because we like straight talk. We don't want any false promises. Credibility comes from doing this and having that effective marketing that I spoke about earlier. But that combination should set anyone up for success. Working in new territories is always challenging, but the rewards are definitely here. So do feel free to contact me afterwards if you want to find out anything more. Thank you very, very much for your time.
Thank you very much for your presentation, Mr. Paul Kelly. Thưa quý vị, chúng ta đã vừa được lắng nghe những phần rất trình bày.
Gentlemen, we have heard presentations very useful from experts in Vietnam and from the UK on the exchange between Vietnam and the UK and policies with the wooden furniture market, especially after the UK Vietnam FTA effectiveness. And let's now move on to the Q&A session.
Doanh nghiệp có câu hỏi có thể bấm
If
vào.
you have any question, please raise your hand. Use the raise hand icon in the chat box. We'll see you and we will allow you to speak. Thank you.
Hiếu nói đi.
Chị Hằng ơi, em thấy có một doanh nghiệp đang giơ tay và muốn đặt câu hỏi. Anh Vương, xin mời chị Hằng có thể điều phối để mời anh Vương có thể nói.
We have a participant raising hand. And Mr. Vương has raised hand. Mr. Vương. My name is Vương Đình Sắc from a company making the automobile and ship wooden model. We exported to the UK to shops, high-end home decor. And but then they requested us to audit the certificate of quality to enter their system. For example, when we go to the US, it is Smart Star, but in the UK, it is higher standard. We managed, but we cannot pass the test, and they stop buying from us. And if we sell to, and they told us that if we sell to some intermediary in the UK, then they can buy our products without requiring the standard. So can I ask Mr. Kevin Phạm or other experts from the UK to advise us on this point? Thank you.
Erika, I suppose you are in a position to take that question.
Yes.
Alo, alo. Vâng, cảm ơn anh Vương. Chắc là câu này em sẽ
thank you. Let me take this question partly. I think that they asked for BSCI certificate. Am I correct? Mr. Vương. We could not pass the test and they stopped buying, and they said that if we can sell to some importer, then they can buy. So if your current buyer is John Lewis, there are a lot of advantages. First, of the goods quality, if you have passed like Smarta, they ask for some Smarta certificate, and it is BSCI. And then they also have another option that is buying through an importer. I can work with you on this point. You can contact me. Then I will look further into this case, and then can advise you, can work with you. Thank you. I will contact you. Thank you. Any more questions? I'm Vân from Mexico company. I have a question. When we want to look for a buyer and to export our product to the UK market, do we need to meet standards like BSI or other standards? Can you provide us with facilitate us to have all of those requirements? I think that this should be addressed by Erica from BSI.
Hello, thank you. Depending on what furniture you are producing, there will be different standards for different materials, but you will need to meet some standards, especially around safety and some around quality. So yes, the best thing as well is to talk to the individual retailer on what they require, because sometimes they require above and beyond the law. Because they want their products to be perceived as better quality than their competitors in the market. So yeah, best to talk to your individual retailer or distributor on what they are asking for, and then obviously make sure that you meet or exceed those standards.
Thank you very much. Còn câu hỏi của doanh nghiệp nào đó không ạ?
Any more question?
Cho mình có một câu hỏi với anh Kevin Phạm á, thì mình hỏi
No question to Kevin Phạm.
Góc nhìn của những cái doanh nghiệp ở đây á.
From the perspective of businesses here, in your presentation, the slide, you mentioned the mass buyers like 20 million, at least 20 million, only about 20 customers, and importers that buy smaller quantity, 200,000 to 400,000 pounds. There's a lot of them. So if we want to target those customers, are the MOQ too small, and do they buy in small quantity from different sources, and do we have to combine the containers? With your experience, can you further describe this group of customer? What are the them and between them and the big buyers? Yes, you are correct. The buyers, like they are like SME in the UK, but there are plenty of them. And in the slide, I also mentioned their way of buying. They often cross buy, or they buy from distributor. Not too many of them buy directly from manufacturer because they know the cost from buying manufacturer is very high, because manufacturer requires MOQ 3 to 5 codes, but those are not easy to them. Another challenge is that they are buying from another country, another supplier, not only from the north or the south of Vietnam, but also buying from China or Brazil. So when they buy from Vietnam, they have to test. And after testing, they say that we are just testing you or 1 or 2 codes, and I don't know you. But there are many companies like them, and that is why our company here developed the storehouse to aggregate the products from the Vietnamese company, and then the buyers from the UK can touch these products. The market of 15 billion or up to 20 billion pounds. We do not have too many product codes. So for one code at our storehouse, we can work with hundreds of buyers. They come and visit, and it's better to do so than to have each of them visiting the factory. We cannot have 10 people coming to the factory. So instead of doing that, we invite all 10 of them to visit our warehouse in the UK. That's my model in the UK. And we think that serving that group can give us a much higher quantity when we multiply with 3,000 customers compared to 20 by 5. Thank you. A question from a company to Profile Furniture News. The trend of buying furniture by e-commerce in the UK, is it common now? And how it compare with buying a store? And do you think that in the future there will be changes? Mr. Paul?
For the last 10 years, the e-commerce penetration rate in our sector has gone up at a fairly steady rate. But then the pandemic came along and the stores were all forcibly closed for big periods of the last couple of years. So e-commerce became much more popular. Suddenly lots of people who perhaps would never have considered buying big expensive items off the internet, they did so. And at the same time, lots of the e-commerce companies are getting better at what they do. They're offering long returns windows so that if you're not happy, it can go back without much hassle. And the pricing is very competitive as well. Some people had bad experiences because some of the e-commerce players couldn't meet the demand, but on the whole, they did well. I mean, the good part as well, that lots of the traditional retailers who have stores, they really seized the advantage to make sure that their e-commerce was at a very, very good level as well. So in some ways, they managed to compete with some of the big e-commerce companies at the same time. When things started to get back to normal or close to normal, there was a big drop-off on e-commerce, but as it stands at the moment, it's still higher than it was before the pandemic. So it's still on that upward trajectory, that upward curve. I think the difference now is that lots of our traditional retailers who have stores, they now have a good e-commerce wing at the same time. So they're able to combine those experiences. So as I mentioned earlier, lots of people, when they're researching or buying furniture, their first experience might be online, but they will often end up going into a store to actually purchase. They still want to be able to touch it, feel it, make sure they know what they're buying. And even some of the big e-commerce companies that were previously pure play, they were just e-commerce, they've started to open more stores up because it gives them more credibility. So I think the short answer is e-commerce will still keep growing and it's still on the rise. But as far as the foreseeable future, there will always be a place for physical retail as well. And the businesses that do best will be the ones that combine them very well, which is a big challenge in itself. I hope that answers your question. If not, I can share details and we can have more of a discussion later on.
Thank you very much for your answers. Hiện nay tôi có thêm một câu hỏi nữa. Câu này được
I have another question. And the question goes to Miss Events Limited Company. And the overall situation today has is that the travel restriction has been have been lifted, and are there any policies for helping the Vietnamese businesses to take part in the trade fairs and exhibitions in the UK?
Hi there, I can't hear the translation. Apologies.
Oh, can you hear me now?
So I don't know what the question is. I don't know if anyone wants to type
Oh,
the question.
Can you hear me now?
Or I'm happy to.
Sorry.
Có thể nhắc lại câu hỏi được không ạ? Bà không nghe rõ.
Mr. Joe, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
So I don't know if anybody wants to email me any questions, and I'm happy to pick them up after.
Yes, Joe, so I would like to repeat the question from the audience. So they would like, how can they come to attend the furniture shows in England? Is there any difficulty for travels now? And in that case, your company may provide any facilitation?
Sure. So at the moment, there are no issues with travel to the UK. All COVID restrictions have been lifted here in the United Kingdom, so there is no issues with travelling to the January Furniture Show. But as with all of our international clients, we do everything we can to help and support with any regulations they may have in their own country. But currently, we open the doors to our show next weekend, and we have quite a range of international brands that will be joining us for that show. We are expecting in 2023 to have a lot more international exhibitors joining us, but at the moment there are no issues with travel regulations. But please do feel free to email me directly or post your email address in the chat, and I'm happy to arrange a call and talk through how you can get involved in the show.
Thank you, Joe. May I add a bit to your answer to that question? In fact, the Vietnam Trust Office in the UK is willing to support the Vietnamese business to come to the fair. You may choose either a full package to attend the fair, or authorize the Vietnamese representative in the UK to display your product at the fair. And I am more than happy to facilitate your attention by providing some kinds of human resource provision and also financial support. And I believe Mr. Kevin willing to support you too. If you see your product can meet the UK consumer expectation, just come and take your chance. I will talk a bit later in my closing remarks. Thank you.
Brilliant. Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
Còn một câu hỏi khác từ doanh nghiệp với nội dung câu hỏi như sau ạ. Cho
There's
em hỏi
another question from the business. Yeah, how can SME could have the access directly to our customers? And we'd like to invite Mr. Dương Thị Minh Tuệ as the member of HAWA to assist this Vietnamese company by providing your answers. Thank you. Actually, this is a long journey, as your company is small and medium size, and you know, it is important to get information about the standards that you need to meet, and perhaps your products cannot meet with the standards required, and your plants and workshops, what is the size of it, and how many containers that you can export, and even if you have all of this information and you are not clear about marketing requirements, so the first step you should take is to attend trade shows, and if you attend it internationally, it would be costly, and you may choose to attend the trade fair here in Vietnam, or if you have your company catalog, and you need to make sure that your catalog is beautiful and that your collections looks so nice, and that you can look into the list of the trade shows. For example, if you want to export to the UK market, January show provides the list of companies that would attend the trade shows, and that is the list of your customers as well. And you know, there are customers, if they read your profile and they think that it is okay, that they could respond when you contact them, but some customers, they will not perhaps respond when you contact you. And if your company is quite small and you haven't met with the standards, or you are not certified yet, you need to work with those experts and companies who has a very good knowledge about the UK market, and they can provide you market information and advice, and so that step by step and over the years, your workshop can improve, and that you expand the market, and that you can get certificates for your products over time. And so it is the phased in approach that you should take. That is my answer to your question. Thank you, Ms. Tuệ, for your sharing. I wonder whether you have questions to the organizers or the speakers at this event. Ms. MC, I would like to add some more points to Mr. Minh Tuệ answers to the question. From my experience, as Mr. Tuệ said, the SME also find it difficult in attending the trade shows abroad, as the costs involved are very high. And I would like to suggest that for these SMEs, they can pool together, and instead of having a separate booth at the trade show, they can pool to get one booth for a number of SMEs like this, or they can ask the trade office here in the UK to hide a booth, and then the cost is the cost of rental can be shared and distributed among different SMEs. And the second point is that you should send one or two persons from your companies to the UK. We have our staff here in the trade office who can work with the businesses to receive the guests and visitors at the trade show. And Mr. Kevin Pham has a good team who has a very good English language knowledge, and they can help the businesses when they display the goods at the trade shows. And given all of this, I believe the cost is incurred by the businesses when they want to attend the trade shows here would be minimized. And I think that if in the future we have this kind of common booth, and that Vietnamese companies are willing to provide your catalogs, our trade office here could promote and advertise your products to the furniture distributors in the UK at the cost which I think it is affordable.
Dạ vâng, xin cảm ơn chia sẻ của anh ạ.
Thank you for your.
Có câu hỏi nữa không ạ?
Is there any more question? Otherwise, we'll move to next part of the program. Before coming to the second part, business matching, I'd like to invite Mr. Vương, the trade counselor, to have the closing remarks.
To make a closing remarks on this webinar, I would like to say, first of all, thank you very much to Ms. Erica Conson, Mr. Kevin Pham, Mr. Paul Farley, and Ms. Jo Ponson. You are very kind to support Vietnam Trade Office in the UK and Vietnam UK furniture trades. You are really experts, not me, that Vietnamese furniture business person would like to listen to. Thưa các doanh nghiệp đồ gỗ Việt Nam, các bạn đã biết quy mô.
Dear businesses, you know now about the market size of the furniture. We have plenty of opportunities, and to leverage opportunities, I would like to summarize the three key recommendations. First, you will need to have UKCA before 1st of January 2023 before to replace the CE certificate that Erica has shared with you. And second, please have a look at furniture news from UK to know about the trends, know about your competitor. And if you find your products can meet the standards, you also need to promote your products on furniture news to attract the attention from local distributors. And third, you also try to be present at the UK furniture show, for example, the one in Birmingham. January furniture show, but because due to the pandemic this year, they have postponed to April, and then Manchester furniture show. These are the biggest and the second biggest furniture show in the UK. And after this workshop, the trade counselor at the embassy will have articles on the furniture news, and we hope that the furniture distributors in the UK will contact Vietnamese businesses to discuss and to make orders from the Vietnamese producers. And if Vietnamese business want to join in these exhibitions, also ready to support you in the procedures and part of the rent. In the National Trade Promotion Program, the SMEs ask the Viet Trade to have supplementary support so that SMEs can join in the UK furniture shows, and this is very useful support, and I think that Viettrade can support you. And HAWA has also been very active in supporting member businesses and supporting their products to other markets. And in this week, in the furniture matching week, we know that some distributors from UK are registered to meet with Vietnamese businesses, mostly on the platform of HAWA, because we still have travel restriction. And because of that restriction, and it is very necessary for Vietnamese businesses to go to the UK to join in the trade. And maybe Vietnamese businesses have some concerns but you haven't got time to raise here. For example, when you have new buyers, then how to validate those buyers, and to see if they are reputable and they are financially capable, because our products are also of high value. We are also ready to support Vietnamese businesses to validate customers. And if you want to deep dive into the financial capability of the distributors in the UK, and HSBC branch in Ho Chi Minh City is very much willing to help you for free in validating these customers. And the association, Vietnam Business Association in the UK, is also happy to support Vietnamese businesses to serve as a sales representative. Kevin Phạm has said that he is developing house for exhibiting Vietnamese furniture products in the UK, because at the shows only within 4 to 5 days. And if UK businesses want to see Vietnamese products, then I think that Mr. Kevin made a very good point. The warehouse, Mr. Kevin, is not only in 5 to 7 days of the show, but it's open year round, and customers can always come to those warehouse to have a look at the product, and so they can touch the product before they can buying decision. So we wish you success. Thank you very much. And you may have questions after this session. And me and Kevin still is here to take your questions. Thank you, Erica, Paul, Joe, for contributing very useful information. I hope that Vietnamese businesses will be confident in developing their products so that they can export more UK. Thank you. Thank you for your closing remark, Mr. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end for our webinar, and I hope that you have got useful information so that you can promote your relation. And we'd like to thank the speakers and the media. And now we'll have the business matching on demand.